Hello and welcome to Morning Brew on Hughes of the World. I'm Graham Hughes. Hope you're all right this morning. Hope you're feeling frisky. Who have we got in the chat? We've got Diz in the chat. We've got Mr. Tisk. We've got Sarah Davis. We've got Mr. Tisk again. We've got Richard and Graham. Stu the Beard is in the chat. Simon Smith is in there as well. L is in there. I can see GM Lovely. Harry Flashman. Hello, Flash. How you doing? If you'd like to join our friendly friends in the friendly chat, just hit the friendly subscribe button and wait for a friendly minute. You'll be able to be friendly in the chat, but don't be a troll, okay? We have one rule on this channel. Just don't be a troll. There's plenty of places on the internet for you to go and be a fucking troll. This isn't one of them. It is Thursday, the 30th of July 2026. Well done on making it so far. This far. It's nearly the end of July, which is kind of crazy. That crept up fast, didn't it? But also what's kind of crazy is the weather, the climate. Like I said yesterday, we have 1% of the normal amount of rain that we have down in the south of keyboard backwards there. I'm going to do it now. It's going to make a fool of me. What's me in my pocket? Fuck off. Right. Hello. Oh, sorry. That's me getting frustrated with my equipment. I move my mic and the mic bloody sounds. The sound cuts out. Anyway, I was just saying, how many adverts? Not enough. Obviously, should be putting more adverts. Can't hear you. You can now. Don't worry. Sound, says Richard. There's a bit of a delay, I think. Are you back? Where was I? Where was I when it all went horribly wrong? God, who's buzzing me in my pocket? I'm gonna have a look now. This better be important. It's Mike to tell me audio not work. Thanks, Mike. It's already stressing out. You know, it's okay. I'm joking. Like fucking phone. Okay, I'm back. I'm back in the room. Thanks, Mike, for letting me know through my buzzy pocket thing. Sound is back, no sound. See, it's very confusing because you've got like sound, sorted, sound is back, no sound. It's like, a bit of a delay there. But yes, sorry, I moved my mic. I made the mistake of moving my mic about a centimetre and it decided to cut out because I moved it. It was like, no, don't move me. I'm a dodgy USB connection. You can't move me. Mike is lurking. Hello, Michael. Nice to have you with us this morning. Should we talk about the news? I've been here for 4 minutes now and I haven't started to talk about the news. Terrible presenter. No wonder I don't get any super chats. Oh, let's get some super chats. Go on, we'll get some. We'll try and get some this morning. Before I get started, I'll sort out the confetti cannon. Hang on. This requires me to set the goal. I'm going to set the goal, my friends. I'll move the goalposts. There you go. Confetti. Lots of love and dancing and confetti will appear. We got a message here from was in Sainsbury's yesterday. There's a guy in front of me in the queue. They changed checkout operator and matey says he's changing checkout as he doesn't want to be served by... Oh my God. What? That is absolutely mind-blowing. I can't believe that. That message there from Richard was actually held by YouTube. Possible use of an ethnic slur. People are fucking arseholes. And do you know what the biggest arseholes are? The ones who vote for Trump, the ones who vote for RefUK, who look at these people who are funding Trump and RefUK, like Elon Musk is funding Trump, and you've got who's that nasty pasty in the UK, George Cottrell, right, and Harborne, Christopher Harborne funding Farage, right, and it's like, yeah, I think that this billionaire here has my best interests at heart. He's giving all this money to Donald Trump so that I can have a better life. Yeah, yes, my precious. That's exactly why they're giving all that money. Dear me, oh my God. Do you know what? I've just realised I've left me water over there. I'm just not with it this morning. This is the problem with doing these shows in the summer holidays, because normally, right, when it's term time, I have a nice sort of, orderly day. I've got to get up and get the girls to school and all that kind of stuff, and it all goes out the window when it's the holidays, doesn't it? It all goes out the bloody window. Could RefUK be replaced by something even worse? Restore Britain? That's the danger. No. Okay, so that's cleared that up. Nigel Farage is uniquely popular in this country amongst fascists, right? He's gone. That's it. I mean, Tommy Ten Name's never going to go into politics. He's got too many skeletons in his closet. His closet is just full of skeletons. That's why he won't get out of it. One of our mental health wards currently has a couple of patients who think their illness entitled them to be disgustingly racist and misogynistic. As Reverend Kathy, people will use their if they feel like they're neurospicy, as people say, they'll say, "Oh, this covers me being a twat." No, it doesn't. Can you fuck off with this? Like the people who are ADHD keep telling me, we've got a strong sense of justice. Like, the fuck? That's got nothing to do with ADHD. Got a strong sense of justice. You're just a vindictive twat. People like, got a strong sense of justice with me ADHD. And a lot of people have got a strong sense of justice and haven't got ADHD. It's nothing unique to ADHD. Stop turning ADHD into a fucking horoscope. Today you'll meet a stranger. Well done. That's amazing. Somewhere in your house, if you have ADHD, somewhere in your house will be a drawer with some photographs in, and the photographs won't be sorted. Woo! That doesn't really count anymore for millennials, does it? Because you don't really print photos out anymore unless you intend to put them on the wall. So I guess what you could do is you say, there's a folder on your computer and it's got loads of old photos in and you've never bothered to sort it. Woo! You must be neurospicy. Fuck off. Just everyone, it's just humans. Sometimes you forget things. Sometimes you walk into a room and you forget why you went inside. ADHD, that is. It's autism, that is. You've got all ADHD. No, you haven't. It has nothing to do with it. That's just people. That's just everyday life. It's hard to juggle things in your head. Yes, you're putting things away in the kitchen, and you can't remember where that pot that you haven't used for 18 months goes. Yeah, because you haven't used it for 18 months. Why would you pay attention to that? Come on. So much ADHD bullshit on the internet. It really fucks me off. I don't know. What am I being a gatekeeper? Am I being a gatekeeper right now? Hey Graham, stop being a gatekeeper for ADHD. Well, there's certain things about ADHD that are clinically diagnosed condition, and then there's just being a dozy bastard or being a gobshite. I tell you what's interesting though. In my limited experience of dementia care, people getting older and losing their marbles a bit, right? I found that the people who were difficult to get along with, let's say, before they got dementia, not all the time, but they often turn into like much nicer people, much like more mellow people. But then you get these people who got dementia and they were just the loveliest person all through their life. And then suddenly they're like 80 years old and suddenly they're just like, they just come out with like racist shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? Why? What? But yeah, I guess there's a lot about the way the brain works that we don't really understand. And I guess maybe if you've been repressing, well, not repressing, but not saying certain words all your life because you don't want to cause offense, there might be some kind of link with Tourette's. where you say the most inappropriate thing. Your brain goes, here's a thing not to say. Go on, say it. So yeah, don't know. I'm not a scientist. And neither is hardly anyone in America anymore. 15,000 American scientists who used to work for the federal government have left. 15,000 scientists. Oh my God. Science funding has been cut to the bone in America. Because they have scientific papers with names, titles that the dickheads can't understand. So they're like, why are we spending money on this? I don't know. Gareth says he's up my way. Ooh, Gareth. Didn't know you cared. Can you take me out for dinner first? He's up my way on to Newcastle. Cool. Well, say hello to Newcastle for me. It's a lovely, lovely place. Goes to a little marketplace with all the little cafes inside. It's boss. Wheels Darren, thank you very much for the £10 super chat to get you started today. Oh, thank you, because I haven't had me ready, Breck, right? And so, Darren, that is beautiful. Thank you. Travelling up to Manchester, icy rain. Yes, that's Ryan. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty typical for Manchester. Icy rain. Like at the end of Sixth Sense or Titanic. Icy dead people. Anyway, I don't have any marbles, so I'm okay. Not going to lose them. It's true. Two Scousers. One goes over and goes, there's been a fire down the Sainsbury's. And the other one goes, has there? And he goes, no, the Sainsbury's. That's a joke, my mum, who had a friend, bought the Protect Our Women and Girls bullshit. He was previously the friendliest guy, second-generation immigrant from Jamaica. He now supports reform, but got his jaw broken at a RefUK rally. Oh my God. You know they're talking, like anyone who is not the shade of white as me, okay? So even if you just have the faintest of fucking tans, like you've actually gone outside and seen the sun for more than 5 fucking seconds, right? If you are one of those people, right? They are talking about remigration. Remigration, that's the word they use. They want to deport you and your parents and your children and your husband or wife and your family and your nephews and your nieces and your cousins and anyone who's not the right colour of pasty white. They want to deport. How anyone can... Yeah, I think they should deport me to a country that I don't really know, that I've never lived in. I don't know anyone there, really. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm going to vote for RefUK. I'm going to vote for Restore. Fucking have words. Have words with your mate. Also on supermarkets, our local Morrison's closed abruptly 2 years ago. It stands as an empty shell with nothing said about the lack of stores, lack of future. That sounds like almost like a poem. Not like a haiku, but like a melancholic poem about a Morrison's that closed down. How do we explain Trump's dementia? A lifetime of being consistently cunty. Yes, that explains it very well. He's never been sane. That's the thing with Trump. Like, none of this is new. He's always been a mad, evil motherfucker. There wasn't a time when he wasn't a mad, evil motherfucker. You get a like for that joke, Graham. Oh, thanks very much, Stuart. Thank you. Someone liked my joke. Hurrah. Samoa, what a Scouser says when you ask what's in his shed. Samoa. I got it. Samoa. Heard that as a joke a fair few times, said Mr. Tisk. Yeah, I know, but it's a good joke. It's a good joke. How's that? No. Thanks, please. If you're not working, you're broke. Double meaning. I wonder why. Yes. It's quite clever. I never thought about that. Things with double meanings. Anyway, let's talk about double meanings and double dealings. Let's talk about George Cottrell and his £2 million reform money trail. Hey, So, Georgie boy, posh George Cottrell, the convicted criminal, fraudster, drug money launderer, and all-round gobshite, transferred £2,047,693 to his mum, Fiona. This is money that he made probably illicitly, probably from selling drugs or doing dodgy crypto deals or doing dodgy crypto deals for drug dealers or something like that. Because the man is a gobshite. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. He's been to jail. We can say that, and he can't sue us because he is a fucking criminal with a fucking criminal record. He should have gone away for 47 years, mate. The only reason why he didn't go away for 47 years, he did a plea bag and something you can do if you're rich and well connected in America. I'll do a plea bargain. I only did the fraud. Yeah, you tried to launder money for drug dealers. Have you seen Have you seen the trauma that communities go through when people in that community are addicted to drugs? Have you seen it? Have you seen what happens to families when someone in that family is addicted to drugs? Have you seen what happens to individuals when they're addicted to drugs? Yeah. So George Cottrell was promoting himself on the dark web, trying to sell fucking money laundering services to drug dealers to help drug dealers get away with it. This is the caliber of the people who are giving money to RefUK, to Nigel fucking Farage. Come on, please. Come on, can you send this message to your nan or someone who's voting for fucking RefUK? Can you send them this and just say, excuse me, why are you giving money? Why are you giving political support to a network of people who want to launder money for drug dealers? Because they seem to desire that more than, I don't know, having decent care in the UK, decent care system in the UK, laundering priorities. You get up in the morning, what have I got to do today? Well, I've got to have a shower, I've got to brush my teeth, got to have my breakfast, got to launder some money for some drug dealers. Are you going to do something about the care system? Nah, fuck that. There was a guy who had a caravan YouTube channel of Asian heritage saying on a recent video he'd been told to go home. Lots of support. Most people are actually nice. Punator says, when I say he was the nicest person, he once drove to Scotland to help a neighbour get a daughter back who missed a train after a concert. He'll do anything to help you if you need it. Yeah, that's a good friend. That's a good friend. It's really sad when we see people that we know and love falling down these rabbit holes, and especially when it's going to fuck them over. Do you think Nigel Farage gives a fuck about old age care in this country? Do you think he gives a fuck about helping people with dementia? No, he just doesn't want to cut tax for his rich, wealthy mates. That's why they put him in the position that they do. Why did Brexit happen? Friends, come on. Why did all these millionaires and billionaires suddenly want Brexit to happen? Because the EU was clamping down on overseas tax havens, like the Cayman Islands, like the Bahamas, like Turks and Caicos Islands, the UK Virgin Islands, or British Virgin Islands. That's what was happening. That's what was happening. And they were like, oh, God, don't want to have to pay a little bit more tax. I want to be able to hide my money in other jurisdictions like the Isle of Man. And where did the money come from to pay for the funding for the Brexit referendum? And don't forget what I always say about referendums: whoever spends the most money on advertising wins. Where did all the money come from? For the Vote Leave campaign, for the Leave.eu campaign, for the Believe campaign. You better believe it. It came from multimillionaires who didn't want to pay more tax by having their offshore accounts audited. Tax evaders. They didn't want to, they have this thing that they go, it's not tax evasion, it's tax avoidance. It's perfectly legal, darling. It's perfectly legal. Yeah, it shouldn't be legal. It shouldn't be legal. Do you know what was legal? In 1990, it was legal to rape your wife. Should it have been legal? No. Do you know what was legal in 1806? Slavery. Should it have been legal? No. Do you know what was illegal in 1966? Being gay. Should it have been? No. Should have been legal in that case. But whatever. It's all right. We don't talk about the morality. We're just going to talk about the money. These people are multi fucking millionaires, but no money will ever be enough for them. And when your time comes, or when your parents' time comes, or when your grandparents' time comes to be put into a home, or to have the carers coming 4 times a day to look after them, or you, right? If you're voted for Nigel Farage all your life, you can thank him for all the fucking support you'll get. Sitting alone in a fucking drafty, wet, damp fucking nursing home that our local councils are paying £2,000 a week to keep you in. There's a voice over the tannoy, little fucking distorted voice, Nigel Farage going, you voted for this, while you fucking die sitting in your own shit. Honestly, Nigel Farage doesn't give a fuck, and that's what people need to get through their heads. I mean, they think that Nigel Farage is going to deliver them from, I don't know what foreigners could be living here. You know, someone who's not white, someone who's got a bit of an accent from living here. He's not going to do that. He doesn't care. He's like Trump. He doesn't care about that stuff. He doesn't care about you. He just cares about the money. He's just in it for the money. Anyway, so £2 million from a gangster, a criminal, George Cottrell, given to his mother. Right, 3 payments arrived between 24 and 72 hours before her donations to the RefUK party. So this guy who's ineligible for giving money to the party gave it to his mum, and then she gave it to the party. Funny that, isn't it? It's funny how that happened. A bit like he gave that money to Richard Tice's company. Britain means Brexit or business or whatever the fuck he changed it to. A bit like that. Do you remember that? Yeah. Gave it to, and then Richard Tice gave all this money from his company to, don't know where it came from before then. Through some Australian holding company. I don't know. Who cares? From some cryptocurrency, you know? And this one, George Cottrell to his mum, that passed through US cryptocurrency exchanges, currency transfer services. Cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme set up by the filthy rich to extort money out of dickheads, and also so they can make transactions like this and pay for people like Nigel Farage to win a fucking a seat in Parliament. He would never have won that seat in Parliament had he not had the backing of all these billionaires. But he does. And this is what we've got to watch out for. So Fiona Cottrell donated £500,000 directly to RefUK, and then 1.075 million to Richard Tice's Britain Means Business. And then Britain Means Business subsequently transferred £500,000 to Reform without publicly identifying Fiona as the original source. The Met Police are investigating. And RefUK is saying that all of its donations were properly vetted. No arrests have been made. No arrests will be made, my friends, because these people live in a different fucking world to the rest of us, where they can do whatever the fuck they like and never face the consequences. See, I've got a strong sense of justice, you see, because I've got ADHD, I've got a strong sense of justice. Yeah, strong sense of justice. It means I hold a grudge for the rest of my life. I've got a strong sense of justice, don't you know? Yeah, bullshit. Fucking bullshit. But I do feel, you know, in the cockles of my heart, that there should be some kind of consequence for all these horrible, mealy-mouthed motherfuckers with their millions doing whatever the fuck they like and laughing and then saying things like, oh, it's all two-tier. They come up with this concept, two-tier. Everything's two-tier. Nigel Farage can't get a bank account at a very posh bank that the king fucking banks with. It's two-tier, that is. Two-tier. Someone goes to jail for writing something that is literally inciting violence. Oh, it's two-tier justice. That is, it's two. Do you know what the real two-tier is, friends? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Whether you were fucking born with money or whether you weren't. And by money, I mean money. I'm not talking about the middle class who, you know, are doing all right. I mean money. Enough for your parents to pay £30,000 a year to send you to one of the top public schools in the country. And not just you, but your siblings as well. Don't forget that. We talk about how much these places cost. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 kids from the same family going to that school. Imagine that, £90,000 a year to spare. Maybe if we tax them properly, they wouldn't be able to afford these posh private schools and have to send the kids to the local comp, and therefore the local comp would get better. Isn't it interesting that we measure GDP on, like, you know, as a factor of like how, all the stuff that we own put together, when the reality is there's about 10 families that own 50% of the wealth in this country. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? You know, it's almost as though this figure is artificially inflated by these rich people. You know, maybe we could help. Maybe we could help with sending these rich kids to normal schools, to normal state schools. maybe that rising tide could raise all boats. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pipe dreamer. As an abuse survivor, I like things to be fair. Yeah, Sean, I'm not taking the piss out of people who say, they got a strong sense of justice. I think we all do. I think if you're watching this, you've got a strong sense of justice. It's I don't think it's necessarily black and white. If you have a strong sense of justice, you'll be an ADHDer. I don't really hold with that argument. Okay, I've met lots of people with strong sense of justice. I know a judge. Actually, she's got ADHD. Maybe that's why. I just defeated my own argument in my head. Anyone who's done the most basic money laundering training can see the red flags. More red flags than the Beijing parade. Also, remember, Graham, those payments were made in £250,000 lumps in an attempt not to activate a fraud check by the banks. Generational wealth, a different story. Yeah. Born wealthy. Generational wealth that can be sourced directly back to the slave trade. Some of it can be traced directly back to the invaders coming from the Northmen of the Vikings of northern France, who came and took over our country. Yeah. Was adding to your comment, no offense taken. No, I'd say I was just a bit worried then because I was like, oh shit, if I said something wrong. But no, I was taking the piss out of the whole. There's a whole industry on the internet, and they make a lot of money basically making shit up about ADHD, and whoever does it, they go, I do this, and therefore this is a common trait of ADHD, and it's not. Like 50% of the time, it's not. And it's really frustrating because it's kind of like it's making more people think they have ADHD than they actually do. So people who have ADHD are not getting the support that they need because it's expensive to get the diagnosis, expensive to get medication. The medication is running out in some places. We had this huge problem with ADHD medication running out a couple of years ago. And it's because there's a lot of people who believe genuinely that they have something because the internet has told them a bunch of lies about what it's like to have this thing. Incels are wankers. Think about it. Yes, I don't want to think about it, but yes, they are. I saw a very funny little meme the other day, and it was the Tate brothers, and it had the words in cells because they were behind bars. They were in jail, and it said in cell. I thought that was funny. Anyway, right, let's talk about something nice for a moment. So, we were covering yesterday Burnham's social care reform, and I actually watched the whole speech. I kind of wish I'd done that yesterday, but we had an appointment the cat and I had to go to. I got some exciting news, right? I don't know, those of you who may have been following me from the start when I started doing these live streams back in 2020, but I've often talked about the difficulty of going to the cinema because we have to go to specific screenings of films that have subtitles, and 9 times out of 10 they're in the the mid morning on a Thursday, and it's like, oh yeah, so deaf people, they don't have, because my partner's deaf, they don't have the deaf people don't have jobs. Yeah, they have full-time jobs. Don't be silly. Come on. And there would never be any screenings of any subtitle films on Friday or Saturday night. You'd have a new Spider-Man film come out, and you'd look, the weekend it came out, a couple of years ago, and there'd be one cinema in Plymouth that was showing a subtitled version of the film. In all of the 8,000 screens that are in the UK, only one of them was showing the subtitled one. It was down in Plymouth, right? As an example, on the opening weekend, Friday, Saturday nights, hardly. So of all of movies that came out, 1% were subtitled, and then of that 1%, 1% of that 1% were on Friday or Saturday nights during sociable hours. So all the other times were on unsociable hours. However, since Wicked came out for good last year, the sequel, Odeon have been trialing these new glasses. Now, I've been talking about having subtitle glasses for a very, very long time. I'm sure at least there's one person watching this and go, yeah, I remember you talking about subtitle glassing. My point was that if you can have, Google Glass type thing, and you can have glasses that sync up to the screen, then not only could you have you could have the words come up on the screen just for you, so you could see any movie, but also it could be any language as well. So if English isn't your first language, you can say, I need this to be, you know, French, Spanish, Italian, Punjabi, whatever, you know, whatever language, and it can come up, right? So you can go and watch any film. And I was like, I can't believe cinemas aren't doing this, because it would not just open up the cinema to the 10, 11% of the population who have hearing difficulty. Also, it will make it possible for like people who can hear to go and watch Christopher Nolan films, because, oh my God, everyone mumbles and the soundtrack is like, and you're like, what did he say? What did he say? He's mumbling. I got a Dodgy face. I'm dead. I'm so slow. And I'm like, what? What did he just say? What was he? Anyway, no, not only would it open up cinemas to the 10% of the population who have hearing loss, and don't forget, if you're over the age of 35, you average going to the cinemas. You're average going to the cinema for an entire year. You will averagely go to the cinema, if you're over the age of 35, once a year. Just once. That's it. Because there's millions of people who, after the age of 35, never go to the cinema ever again. If you can be that one film that people go out to see, like Titanic or Mamma Mia or something, you'll make a fucking fortune. But yeah, over 35s don't go to the cinema. And one of the reasons why is we just can't fucking hear what's going on. So we'll twatted up our hearings, you know, or our hearing by going to gigs and shit. And you know, people just don't want to go. Just don't want to go to the cinema, you know, because it's like, it's an unpleasant experience. I'd rather watch it at home without a bunch of strangers in the room with me, and I can put the subtitles on. Thank you. I put subtitles on when I'm watching stuff, even before I got with Kat, because I like having the subtitles on. I don't like missing stuff. As a bit of a film nerd, I don't know. I've just always had subtitles on the film that they were available. You know, obviously DVDs made that a lot easier. So yeah, I'm excited, because since Wicked last year came out, the Odeon have done a trial of the glasses that I was asking for them to start producing a long time ago, that actually have subtitles coming up in the glasses while you're watching it, right? And so this weekend, and I'm very excited about this, and I'm going to bring this all back together by talking about Christopher Nolan again. We are going to go and see The Odyssey at the IMAX. I'm not seeing it in 70mm, because fuck that shit. Like, honestly, don't. There's 3 cinemas in the whole country that can show the 70mm IMAX. They have the actual projector for 70mm IMAX. There's one in the Printworks in Manchester, there's 2 in London, right? Don't. Just my advice. You don't have to take it. Go and see the digital version. Because I went to see Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk at the Corner House in Liverpool on a 35mm print. And it was like, ooh, oh God. Go and see what it looks like in optical. It was shit. It was out of focus. The film was fucking grainy. It weaved around a lot. I mean, you kind of forget just how shit film was. I'm sorry, digital's way better. I'm sorry. I know some of you are going to think that I'm a Philistine for saying that. But it means that with these new subtitle glasses and the digital IMAX, it means that for the first time in Catherine's life, she can go to an IMAX film at the cinema and see a film in IMAX. He's never been able to before, because there's never ever been an IMAX film that's had fucking subtitles at the cinema. Can you believe that? All these IMAX films that come out, Mad Max, Fury Road, yeah, couldn't go and see them because not one of them had subtitles up to this point. And now, the last since April, Odeon have been rolling this technology out. There's only about 10 Odeon cinemas around the country that have it. Metro Centre up in Gateshead does, Liverpool One does, there's a few others, and it's only select films. So it's select cinemas, select films, but we're getting there. So we're gonna. I've asked for the subtitle glasses as well, because I want to see how the tech looks. And apparently you can move it around in your field of vision. You get like a little button thing that allows you to move it around to decide where it is. But I am incredibly excited that finally, my beautiful partner can actually go and experience a film in IMAX. She might fucking hate it. She might chuck in a bucket. I don't know. But at least now she's got the option. So there you go. That's some good news for you. Some good news. The state of the toilets in the cinema where I live. Jesus, says Wesley. Oh, really? I mean, normally cinema toilets are usually quite all right, aren't they? I mean, because they're not really used that much. And when people use them, they're just in and out as quickly as possible because they're missing a bit of the film. Thank you very much, Reslook. My local Red Cinema has subtitle showings on weekday evenings and autism-friendly showing of kids' films on a Sunday. Yeah, I've been to, we went to see The Magic Faraway Tree, and they had an autism-friendly screening, and that was supposed to have subtitles on. The film started, subtitles weren't available, so we had to go. And this has happened more than once, where we've gone to the cinema, we made a fucking journey to a fucking cinema, specifically sometimes a 60-mile round trip to a cinema to go and see a fucking movie, and then the subtitles haven't been on, and you're like, it says subtitles on the thing. Oh, and then they have to restart. They have to ring up the distributor, wait for someone to answer the phone and say, "Is it okay if we restart the film?" And the distributor's like, "Oh, it's a night watchman picks up the phone, whatever. I don't give a fuck." And then they have to record it. They got to fill out forms. They got to tick boxes and things like that. So that they're not pirating, because otherwise all these cinema distributors might pirate the films and they might be available on the internet, and then that will destroy the cinema industry. Can I just say that you've been able to download movies off the internet now for 25 years? Yeah, people still go to the cinema. Media Museum in Bradford has an IMAX 70mm projector. Oh, that's quite cool, but it won't come with subtitles because you need the subtitles to be hard closed caption, to be actually burned into the film itself. Wheels, Darren, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. And thank you very much for the puninator who says, for bin face! For the bin. Here's a little bin face here. My little miniature of bin face. Put them on top of my mic. Should I put them on top of my mic? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? There you go. Oh, that's really cool. Look at that. There you go. Little bin face down at the bottom of the... If that fucks up the mic, let me know if my voice has turned into like a robot or something. I don't know. Little bin face there, and we're going to release the bin feffy. So 1, 2, 3, bin feffy! Woo! Yeah, bin feffy. Yes, love it. Love my bin feffy. Thank you very much, everyone, for throwing that in there. That's great, says Frank in the voice of Tony the Tiger. The Odyssey with subtitles means you can read Nolan's god-awful dialogue in real time, says Futtumstung. All right, fucking hell, Futtumstung. Have you got a Christmas to steal or something? I'm quite excited about this. You know, to piss on my dreams. I'm sure it's going to be all right. I don't really care. Like, it's just the thing. This reinterpretation of the Odyssey, I hate it. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't care. Give a shit. You read the Odyssey in it's an original in its original ancient Greek, if you like. I don't mind, and you can get what you get from it. I tell you what, if you don't like it, make your own fucking movie. So I'd say if I was Christopher Nolan, make your own fucking movie. Then go on, make your movie that's based on your fucking imagination of this. See if you make 300 million at the box office. Plainly, the only things I don't use subtitles for now are live streams, in part because what's being said isn't as important, but also it's hard to subtitle live even with tech. Well, Grimfact, this video should have subtitles. There should be subtitles on this video right now, because I always have my videos turned on. Put your vote in the bin. Hey, Kimberly has no knickers, no tire knickers. What is happening here? No disrespect to streamers. I watch the stream for most of my entertainment. Good. I'm glad we're being entertaining for you. I'm just checking that the subtitles are working. One sec. 1 second, my dear friend. Yeah, the subtitles are working. Woohoo! Woohoo! I just checked that. It's all good. It's all good, my friends. It's all good. It's all good. Musk is making his own AI version, says Frank. That would be right. It will be utterly shite. Anyway, I like it when subtitles are utterly wrong. Good comedy. Yes, Andy, definitely. Especially when the heyday of the Chinglish DVDs of the 2000s. I've spoken about this before, but there was a copy of Sin City that me and my mate watched while pissed up in a Thai cafe down in Koh Phangan, on Koh Phangan Island, and the lines I remember, that there was there was a bit where the guy needed a tourniquet, and for some reason the word tourniquet had been translated into Thundercat. I don't know why. And then there was a wonderful line where Clive Owen says he needed a hard top with a fast engine, as in a car, yeah. And he came up with he needed a hot towel with a diesel engine. We're just sitting there buzzing off this fucking off the subtitles, getting all this so wonderfully wrong. They'd obviously translated it from English into Chinese and then back into English. And then there was a legendary copy of Star Wars Episode 3, Rise of the Empire, or whatever it was called, Revenge of the Sith, and the subtitles had they called the Wookiees the Black Uns, like black and then apostrophe UNS, and they called Anakin Gold for some reason. Like Anakin was called Gold all the way through it. It was like, Gold, don't do this. Gold, don't do that. And then the best bit was the Jedi Council was called the Presbyterian Church. The Presbyterian Church. That's what it came up as in the subtitles, and I was just like, where the fuck did he get that from? Anyway, early AI. Manchester mayoral election today with Bev Craig out front at 39%. Good. Yeah, I vote in Greater Manchester. I voted Labour first, Greens second. Yeah. Bolescott says, I've been lurking, but what amuses me is all the private school people are being annoyed at the work of a private schoolboy. Glad they're wrecking their own cultural assets for once. Yeah. Grim says, it's because usually TV or film, the dialogue is crafted for a purpose, so you're likely to miss something without subtitles. Live streams are usually a streamer saying what comes into their head or comes into the chat. Into the chat. Graham, have you watched Backstroke of the West? It's that, but a full dub. No, that sounds great. I need to check that out. That sounds good. Elle says, Elliot Page in the Odyssey is a wonderful trans man. TERFs don't like a successful trans person. They like a successful TERFs. Now he is using the bog. You're moaning that he exists. Yeah. A lot of complaints about Elliot Page. I think he's a fantastic actor. Always has been. I first saw Elliot Page in a movie called Hard Candy, which is very good. Well worth watching. Did you hear what Andrew Tate's real first name is? It isn't Andrew, says Andy. I don't know. Is it cunt? Jenny says, one of my students who has cerebral palsy handed an essay he had written using voice software. It ended, dear leap, fuck it. He'd been saying delete and gave up in the end. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, automatic subtitles do fuck things up quite a lot. And one of the little things that me and Kat like to do is when she's in her meetings in work, she's obviously got to have the subtitles on, and if something funny comes on, she screen caps it and then she sends it to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Aussie film Hercules is about an old dub film. So funny. I'll have to watch that. But yeah, with the subtitle thing, it's a bit of levity, but you're in like a really serious meeting, like a proper serious management meeting, and then something absolutely hilarious comes up in the subtitles, and then you've got to keep a straight face. You've got to keep a straight face, not just piss yourself laughing. And the thing is, I think when the subject is more serious, fuck ups in the subtitles just get even funnier. I don't know, maybe it just appeals to my dark sense of humor. I don't know. It's Emery. Emery. His first name is Emery. Emery. You're kidding me. Emery. What the cat flap? Seriously, what? Hard Candy as boss. It's a very good film. Very, very good film. Don't want to spoil it. Go and watch it. Good little indie movie. Anyway, so we'll go back to the headlines today that we're talking about. So Burnham yesterday, he wants a national care service operating on principles similar to the NHS. He talked about this before. He's been talking about this for years. He's been talking about this since 2009. And he's also asked for Louise Casey to bring forward her commission to the final recommendations of the commission by the summer of next year, so a year today, essentially, rather than 2028, because he said, well, we're going to have enough time to do it before the next general election if it's 2028, which is a good point, because last time he tried to do this when he was health secretary back in 2009, They got yeeted out of power the next year and it never got done. There is a parallel world where Gordon Brown won the 2010 election, and we actually have a national care service now, so people aren't losing their home. Anne-Marie, he's a Womble. Such a manly name. Emery, he's half American. Odd names. Arseholes. Should have been changed his surname to Paper. Emery Paper. It would explain how abrasive he is. Very good, Andy. And the Conservatives and Reform already complaining about the proposed changes to the care system because they're saying he's going to make more taxes. And Andy Burnham in his speech yesterday actually singled out the Telegraph and the Mail and said, will you fucking calm down? Well, he didn't use these words. I would have used these words. Will you fucking calm down? Will you try to do stuff that'll actually help the people in this country and work together with all the different parties and me to make sure, as in Andy Burnham, not Mimi, to make sure that this actually happens, because we need to solve this problem of the care, of what we do with people who need to go into care, because the NHS is free at the point of delivery, care is not. There's an excellent Linux app called Live Captions, which is 10 times better than YouTube auto captions and automatically makes subs from whatever audio stream is playing. Ooh, well, that's quite cool. Dan, I had a weird dream last night running a D&D group. Well, the characters were Wombles. Probably be quite fun. I had problems with voice recognition in my watered down Welsh accent. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge problem for people with strong accents from anywhere. And I was going to say about the subtitling on Google. I mean, it used to be really shit. Like, it used to try and work out what each word was as it went. Now it actually stops and contextualizes, which means that it will sometimes change what the subtitle says when it realizes that doesn't make any sense. So that's good. It's got a lot better. It's got a lot better than it was. Anyway, also, we talked yesterday about how half of England is in drought, and July is on course to become England's driest July in history. In human history. And I know that we've only been measuring it for a couple hundred years, but reality is that if there was a summer like this in the past, there would have been writing about it. Do you know what I mean? And people go, yes, but Graham, there was one in 1746. There was one in 708 AD, and I'm like, yeah, that was a one-off, and it was pulled out because it was a one-off. This is our, we've had more days this year over 30 degrees, averaging over 30 degrees. More days. Sorry, this month we've had more days this month, July, averaging over 30 degrees than we had in total for not just all of the Julys of the 1980s, but all of the 1980s. So the number of days in the 1980s where the temperature was over 30 degrees, right? That's been eclipsed by the number of days this year, in this month, that have been over 30 degrees. That is fucking crazy. We already pay a fortune for care via precepts in our council tax. Redistribute those costs across the whole country and centralise the taxes and maybe council tax precepts. I don't know what precepts are for. Precepts. I don't know what they are. Sorry, Bolskov. Caught me in a spider web of my own creation, because I started reading your message without actually knowing what it meant, and now I look very silly because I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I have to explain it in 160 characters or less. Fewer. Ozzy Osbourne with his voice recognition car on Meet the Osbournes, fucking classic. Couldn't stop laughing. Check out if not seen. It couldn't understand his accent, says Elle. I saw some Scottish people. They were trying to get the car to pair, and they kept saying poor, and it just wouldn't pair for them. I remember growing up in the 80s, most summer days were blazing hot. Sorry, Andy. Anecdotes are not evidence, I'm afraid, but we're having more of them. The point is, it's not just 1 year of like 1986 or whatever. We had a really hot year in 19. Channel 4 doing an ADHD attack documentary. Oh, that's nice of them. Is that the same Channel 4 that did Benefit Street and did the climate change hoax? They did an interview with all the dickheads who think that climate change isn't real, and they put it on the telly. In an alternate universe, it's like an essay. The chat limit is a minimum. If humanity learnt lessons from horrific events, we would have stopped having wars. Yeah. Well, I think it's not about learning lessons, wars. I think it's about people making money. Like, people make money from wars. So they're more than happy for wars to continue because they're making money out of it. Oh, that Channel 4. Yeah. Memory normally goes away in a generation. Right, let's just hope my mic doesn't go off. I just touched my mic. It's always a bad idea to touch my mic, isn't it? There you go. I just got like bin face there. It's kind of cute. I like little bin face. Should we leave him on top of my mic forever now? Well, I mean, until until the election's over, until the by-election's over. It's also the warmer winters raising the average temperatures with climate change. Yes, they do. But yeah, there's all this argument like, oh, it's cold today. What's this climate change thing? It's like, yeah, it's still have weather. It's still have a frost in the winter. That's gonna be perfectly normal. Although it's gonna be a little bit of a abnormal frost when we when the AMOC sort of ceases to be, and we suddenly realize what line of latitude we're at. On a plus, my cucumbers are growing really well. They're coming out about a cubit long. Ooh, a cubit cucumber. Specific charge and council tax for care and policing are broken out separate items, and they call a precept their term. Okay. Okie dokes. I obviously don't pay enough attention. Typical millennial. Graham petition to leave the mini bin there permanently if he wins in Clacton. Oh yeah, if he wins, I don't think he will win. His odds of lengthened to 33 to 1 because he hasn't been campaigning. It's just been like he doesn't really want to win. He just wants to show that Nigel Farage is a twat, which he absolutely is. Anyway, so there's a story about US servicemen avoiding British courts that we've talked about, and cases. This is not just the case that we talked about the other day, but also that the Guardian's found cases involving US personnel accused or convicted of serious offences against people in Britain being handled by American courts martial. And these allegations include rape, sexual assault, indecent exposure, child abuse, violent attacks. And several of the incidents occurred while personnel were off duty and involved British civilians as the victims. And under the 1951 Status Agreement, British authorities should generally have first jurisdiction in off-duty cases involving local victims. And that doesn't seem to have happened. And ministers and police chiefs have promised to review why the UK forces keep surrendering jurisdiction. Keep going, oh no, it's all right, let the Yanks sort this out. And we heard the other day about a guy who sexually assaulted a woman who was let off by the he was discharged, but he wasn't actually put in jail or anything. Donation to the Keep Bin Face on Top of the Mic campaign, says Cuthbert. Oh, thank you very much for the donation, Cuthbert. That's very kind of you. Oh, by the way, the war's back on. Sorry, if do we have a little? We should have a little animation, shouldn't we? Like, the war's on, the war's off, the war's on, the war's off. So it's back on again. The US launched heavy strikes on Iran overnight. US Central Command says it struck dozens of Iranian Revolutionary Guard targets. They just happen to look like children's schools. Washington described it as retaliation for Iranian attacks on American forces in the region. And Donald Trump said further action could follow. Meanwhile, strikes in Iraq and Egypt have widened the geographical reach of the conflict in the Middle East. Saudi and US forces have reportedly operated together against targets in Iraq. Attacks affecting Egypt increase the danger to shipping, because obviously you got the Suez Canal, and if they blow up a boat in the Suez Canal, then that's the Suez Canal fucked, isn't it? You have to get rid of the boat. Suez Canal gets very narrow in places, as we saw when the Evergrande got fucking jammed in it. Mr. Sis says, yes, G, but what do you think about concrete? Well, I'm glad you asked, Mr. Tisk. He rolls his sleeves up. Everyone turns off. Everyone's like, God, he's got it on about fucking concrete again. Concrete cows. That's what I think of concrete. Fucking Milton Keynes. Milton fucking Keynes. Fucking the dead fucking concrete fucking heart of the world. Anyway, sorry to anyone who lives there. No, genuinely, I'm sorry. Diz, thank you. Sorry, not Diz. Viper Scott, thank you. Diz Confetti fixed time. Yay! Thank you. Thank you very much, Viper Scott. That's very kind of you. Dropping in a couple of quid there into the super chat fund, keeping this channel alive. It's alive. It's alive. But yeah, diplomats are now warning that the escalation in the Middle East is becoming harder to contain. So, doesn't come as much of a surprise. We've also got the Russian strikes across Ukraine. 13 people were killed across Ukraine yesterday. Kyiv and the western city of Lviv were amongst the locations targeted. I've been to Lviv. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Sorry, it's facts. The Poland scrambled fighter jets to protect its airspace during the attacks. And Zelensky returned from the US saying that Trump had agreed to provide licenses connected to Patriot missile supplies. They met at the funeral of Lindsey Graham, who was a big supporter of Ukraine. In his memory, even though Trump did a eulogy where he said, I didn't really like him. They say everyone liked him, but they didn't. Because I didn't like him. That's what he said. That's what he fucking said. I'm not even kidding. Firefighters killed in Greek wildfires. 3 Greek firefighters have died while tackling separate fires. Major blazes are burning on Crete and in southern mainland Greece. A few years ago, we were in Greece on holiday, family holiday in Crete. And, extreme temperatures, drought, and strong winds are making fires hard to control. Fires are still burning near Bordeaux in France. And southern Europe remains under severe wildfire conditions due to prolonged heat. Just because Israel wasn't getting enough, bad press, it's decided to go and kill some children in Gaza. It killed 3 people in Gaza, including 2 children. I don't know why. Nobody knows, except, they're fucking dickheads who want to destroy the lives of people, not just people in Gaza, but Jewish people around the world who get tarred at the same brush as what the Israeli government are doing. Anyway, yeah. I don't think they've even negotiated the terms of the ceasefire that they've apparently got in the Middle East. A wee bit for an anti-concrete rant, Graham. Oh, thank you very much, Viper Scott, for that. Yeah, don't build stuff out of concrete. Well, you can build the inside out of concrete. I don't mind that. I think it's quite a useful building material, but just don't expose it to the elements. Or my eyes. I don't want to see it. In the same way that I see a beautiful woman or a beautiful man, and I go, do you know what I don't want to see? Their guts. Don't want to see their guts. I have no interest in seeing their internal fucking organs, okay? No interest whatsoever. It's not going to make me happy. It's not going to turn me on. I'm not a fucking weirdo. Just want to see, something that looks nice. I don't give a shit about the innards. What's inside. Unless they've got a terrible personality, and then they can fuck off. But, I mean, I don't want to see their brain. It's not like you meet someone who's very intelligent and go, do you know what I need to see? Your brain. Oh, let me see it. I'm going to crack you open like an egg and examine your brains. No, you don't do that. Why do we do that with architecture? Why is it like, we have to do the Pompidou Centre? It's inside out. Pompidou Centre, mark my words, it'll be knocked down. The Pompidou Centre will be fucking knocked down. I don't know when, but at some point, because it's a piece of shit. Absolute piece of shit. Doesn't work as a building. Doesn't work as anything. They went, let's make a building inside out. Woohoo! It's got a Ponzi name as well. Fucking Pompidou. He was a French president, wasn't he, Pompidou? Was he the guy who commissioned it? He went, I'm going to make a centre and name it after me. What a twat. The concrete jungle is just depressing. Can't see what's wrong with brick. Yeah, Frank, I agree. I absolutely agree. Concrete is depressing. Breaking news, Reform Live. Nige throwing in the hat. What? Where is this breaking news? I can't find this breaking news. Where is this breaking news breaking? You could give me more information. I'm the boss. Need the info. Burnham will now be defined how he makes enemies. Says Andy Beckett in The Guardian. God, get rid of all these pop-ups. UK government reviews why police ceding criminals to the blah, blah, blah. Major incident declared in Suffolk as 90 firefighters tackle wildfire on Heathland. Oh, Viper Scott, you generous, wonderful Viper Scott, you, Alistair. Thank you so much. Alistair has gifted 5 Hughes the World gift memberships to Bolskov, to JBFC, to Paul Dickinson, to Jody Bobble, And to SW574, thank you so much. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. And welcome to all the new people who have joined us. Welcome. You are awesome. You are awesome people, and now you are members of the channel. If anyone else wants to join the channel, all they need to do is hit that lovely join button, and you can join with us. Join us, and together we will rule the galaxy as father and son. I'll never join you. Is the nasty bastard generic to be a farm leader? Says Mr. Tusk. I don't know. My internal organs, guts are on the outside, Graham. Steady on, says Mike Dix. Well, yeah, okay, Bob, I'll let you off, but it's fine. It's fine. I just generally speaking, with humans and animals, I don't need to see the insides. I don't need to see that. I'm not driving in my car and I'm thinking, oh, God, if only that dog was inside out. Why do we do it with buildings? I don't want to see the innards. I don't want to see the inner workings. Hide them behind the fucking walls that you make out of nice things like stone and brick and stained glass. Those opposing energy generating windmills really are the modern day Don Quixotes. Yeah, Donald Trump Quixotes. They really are, aren't they? Going on tilting at windmills they are. My external organs are on the outside, says Frank. Grand Theft Auto 6 finally coming Xbox in November. Oh my God, the excitement, says Wesley. The greatest British export of all time. Grand Theft Auto 5 makes more money in a year than our entire fishing industry. It's fucking crazy, that, isn't it? Genovic is talking about giving a talk right now, and the sensibility I'm getting so far is that he's setting things up so that Nigel can step away and say it's not a fair election or something like that. But he's going to win. So why is it like he's saying it's not a fair election? He's going to win. Oh my God. What if he says that he's not going to do it? I mean, this is because George Cottrell's fucking money going into RefUK is going to be so fucking dodgy because he's a dodgy motherfucker. And they're going to be found to have broken the law. Hopefully, they should go to the ends of time. To the ends of time. The ends of time, my friends. The ends. The ends justify the means. Anyway, we are going to go to the next news story now, which is there's been a crackdown of opposition in Turkey. Turkish authorities have detained another opposition mayor. Dozens of suspects were detained in the same operation, part of a widening campaign against opposition-controlled local authorities in Turkey. Critics accuse Erdogan's government of using criminal investigations to remove elected rivals, and this is what they're exactly doing, And they're the type of people who talk about lawfare being used against them, against Trump. Oh, I'm getting done for the rapes I committed. Oh, it's lawfare. No, you committed a crime. When there's literally nothing that this person's done that's bad, and you haul them over the coals in the in Congress, like what happened to Fauci yesterday. So Fauci was pulled in, and he took the fifth. He just said, "I'm not going to fucking incriminate myself." He didn't say anything. And then they had a bunch of people who had been affected by his COVID stuff, whatever, standing up in front of him. Joe couldn't stand up behind him. The 250,000 people who died as a result of Donald Trump's mismanagement of the COVID crisis. But there you go. Andy organ as a musical instrument. Andy organ. Warhammer makes more money than our fishing industry. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? A Manchester mayor election today? Yes, it is. It is. Bev Craig standing for Labour, probably going to win it. Even if she loses a bunch of votes compared with what Andy got last time, she'll still win it. I mean, it'll be an incredible upset if anyone else does. RefUK are like 300 to 1 or something mental. Like they did that. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. There could be a massive upset. I could be here tomorrow going, "What the fuck just happened to Manchester? Never going there again." But I don't think so. GTA success is why Nandi's film and television focus at the CS annoys me. She literally ignored an e-gaming tournament based on a British game in Liverpool. Yeah. But I mean, I think one of the problems is that you get people like Nandi, who, she seems all right. I think Lisa Nandi's a bad person or nothing. But I don't know if she's that clued up about certain parts of like the media and Yeah. Oh, stop. Confetti time. Dun, 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 dun. Confetti time. Let's press the confetti button. Big confetti button. Here we go. We're pressing it. Whoop, 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 whoop. We did it. We did it. We made the confetti happen. Well, Viper Scott did. Thank you very much to Viper Scott and everyone else who's contributed this morning towards our little meetups. Little meetup in the morning. People paying their subs. I like it. I'm going to reset the goal. If we get another one, we'll do a Boba Fetty. Simon Smith's message there with the confetti was all held for review. That was held for, I had to allow that to go forward. Thanks very much, Simon Smith. The thing is, politicians will tend towards old and video games aren't on their radar. Yeah, Lisa Nandy's younger than me, I think. So yeah, they should be on her radar. Video games are great. To all in this lovely community. Oh, thank you, Saz. That is really kind. Saz has been a member for 15 months. Thank you, Lone Star Saz there. And also we've got David Faulkner, who's dropped a super chat in. Hurrah, David. Thank you. In Hong Kong. Those who did past wrong and genuinely repent, I forgive. But those who display hypocritical traits, by definition, just can't learn and ever be sorry. Yeah. I mean, it's a lack of humility, but also entitlement. There's a lot of people who have got a lot of money because they were born into money, like Trump and Farage and all that lot, that they are entitled. They are entitled little shits, and they always have been. 11 years old, they were entitled little shit, and now they're in their 60s and their 70s, in Trump's case in his 80s, still an entitled little shit. The rules are for thee, not for me. Is it true that in hospital there's a procedure that involves turning people into eels? It's all part of the eeling procedure. I hear a lot. Very good, L. Meanwhile, there's a diplomatic row brewing, like a morning brewing between France and the US. The US is considering rejecting France's new proposed ambassador to Washington, D.C. The dispute reportedly concerned disagreements over human rights. You know what? I wouldn't be a good news presenter because I'd just be making jokes and saying things in funny voices. Anyway, but, we can dream. So blocking an allied country's ambassador would represent a significant diplomatic rebuke. And the row, it adds further strains between Washington and European governments. Honestly, Washington can fuck off. Fucking hate it. I'm fed up of hearing about it. Just fuck off, America. You drunk the Kool-Aid. You didn't just drink the Kool-Aid. You started putting it on your fucking crops, lads. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing down for you. Europe should be doing a whole thing now about getting American refugees out of America and making a big song and dance about it and just absolutely taking the piss. Saying we're taking your brightest and best. We're taking them. They're coming over here. We're going to give them a house. We're going to give them somewhere to live. We're going to give them a job. High paid job in CERN or in Oxford or Cambridge or somewhere. We need these people. We need scientists. We need people, innovators. Get them over here. Hang on, the USA is pointing fingers over human rights. Pot kettle much, indeed. Andy says, hence the panic older generations have always had about the young ones' pastimes, comic books, reading novels, video games, dwelling on the Black Pyramid and performing dark rituals. Yeah, well, if I hadn't gone to that satanic black mass, then we never would have met. Kool-Aid doesn't make you want to bomb primary schools, just saying. Well, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid is an expression meaning like they've gone full whack job, cult whack job. I do wish that we would do a campaign, and Andy Burnham should do this, of like helping Americans, American refugees. It would be really popular. Even the people who don't like foreigners would be behind it because they'd be like, what? We're getting all these people and they're going to come over here and make us lots of money? Yes, they're going to make us lots of money. And they're white? Yes, they're white. Most of them. Oh, I'm happy now. You weren't happy when white people were coming from Europe, were you? And people from fucking Poland or from Finland, they weren't white enough for you. Twat. These fucking people coming from Finland, like fucking Santa Claus. Not only is their skin white, the fucking beards are white and their hair's white. It's fucking like fucking Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And it's like, oh, yeah, these people coming from Finland. I hate them. All right, mate. Fucking hell. Calm down. If the US blocks an ambassador from another country, that country should say they recognise Harris won in 24, but the corrupt establishment stole the election. That'd be good. Also, the fans have been calling Charles Kushner over to testify security leaks within the embassy to France. Brawn dough, it's what plants crave. What is it, that the Underground Railroad or something like that back in the Civil War days? Yeah, but do it like an overground railroad, right? And it's getting Americans out of America, like smart ones, like the clever ones. We don't want the Trump voters; they can stay there and make their country shit forever. Meanwhile, the attacker of Salman Rushdie, who blinded him in one eye in 2022, has been convicted on federal terrorism charges. And so he's never going to get out. And this is an attack on Salman Rushdie, one of my favorite writers, who this is a long-standing threat that's been hanging over him since the 80s, since the publication of the Satanic Verses, which was published, and then there was uproar that was fomented by some rabble-rousers in the Middle East based on a mistranslation. Because the word verses in the Arabic version of the Satanic Verses actually meant Quran, so it came out meaning, or a double meaning of Quran, specifically verses from the Quran, but it meant that when a casual Muslim reader would see this book called the Satanic Quran, like having a book coming out called the Satanic Bible, it would upset people. But then there was a couple of mullahs who made a massive fucking thing about it. Iran said that they declared what was it called? A fatwa on Salman Rushdie, and he's had to live under protection for many, many, many years. And in 2022, someone acted on that and attacked him, and he was seriously injured. He nearly died. And it's just ridiculous. If you've read Satanic Verses, you'll know it's not taking the piss out of the Quran, out of the Prophet Muhammad. However, it's a bit like Life of Brian. I mean, it's a black comedy. I mean, it's a funny book. It's not meant to be something where it's like Midnight Struggle. It's a funny book. Shame, it's a funny book. The Moore's Last Sight, it's a funny book. We think of these books as being these like lofty tomes of the likes of Steinbeck or Hemingway or something, and actually it's a lot funnier. It's a lot funnier. But misinterpretation. But I could see why people with a cursory glance over it would consider the material in the Satanic Verses as being disrespectful, in the same way that people who just have a cursory view of Life of Brian could say, "Oh, this is really offensive to Christians." It's not. It's taking the piss out of fanatics everywhere of all time ever, and it's got nothing to do with Jesus. He's there at the beginning, doing this Beatitudes or whatever, and we're following the people at the back of the crowd. If people read the Bible, satanic would fit. Well, yes, that's very true. That's very true. So I was late, woke up with severe tooth pain, so I had to wait for painkillers to kick in before I could concentrate enough for this. Oh, I'm sorry, one angry pagan. Oh, I'm sending hugs. Puninator says, breaking news, OAP has arrived in chat. For those who don't like diversity, i.e. black or brown people, can you go and live in Poland or Eastern Europe, because most of your white people there sounds boring. Call me crazy. Yeah, it probably is. The food's boring, I'll tell you that now. The whiter the country gets, the more boring the food gets. It's like, oh, what are we eating today for dinner, darling? It's soggy cardboard. Oh, soggy cardboard, my favourite. Is there any salt and pepper to go with that? No, eat your soggy cardboard. Did learn today that codeine doesn't work on some people. A knackered up liver enzyme. Yes, codeine doesn't work on some people. We're all different. Some drugs, some medicines work with people. Some procedures work with people. Others don't. Updating broken news, Genrick says the soft bigotry of low expectations in which is said by the establishment that no self-respecting Brit would do this work. Therefore, we must import cheap labour. Genrick said that. Genrick's. Oh, sorry, Sarah, you don't have to apologise. I have to go, so I've been quite quiet today. Sending love to Sarah. Sending love. Hope you're all right. Elle says, I can't spell correctly. The autocorrect isn't helping me. What the fuck? It's not my fault. It's the autocorrect. Sorry, my narcissistic impression. I fucking hate it when folk call me a Satanist, especially when Satan has fuck all to do with Anglo-Saxon heathenry. Yeah, can I call you a heathen? You heathen! I mean, yeah, it is a bit weird, isn't it? The conflation between this religion from the Middle East and the jinns of the Middle Eastern desert, and the Satan turning up in the Bible and doing horrible things because Satan, but then God turning up and doing much more horrible things. In fact, someone added up all the people that Satan killed in the Bible and came up to a figure of 0, and then they totted up all the people that God killed in the Bible, and they came up with some mad figure like 74 million people. Yeah. The Book of Mormon is hilariously, obviously a scam. Yeah, dum. Poland is busy violently attacking young Ukrainians and hospitalizing them. It's a sad thing, neighbor hate. Yeah, I do think that's really grim. That relations between Poland and Ukraine have broken down in recent months. It's not great, is it? But yeah, God summoned birds to more children for calling a guy bald. Yeah, the prophet Elisha, I think it was it Elisha? And some boys said, haha, you're bald. And so God sent some birds, she-birds specifically, female birds. I don't know why they had to be she-birds, but sent down some birds to rip these children apart for making fun of a prophet with no hair. That happens in the Bible. Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses don't knock on our door anymore. I think God's kill tally was about 30 million. 30 million, was it? Well, I mean, at one point it was the entire population of the planet when he flooded it, except for what's his name? Who's that dickhead? Noah. Noah way. Did Noah sleep with his children? I know Lot did. Did you hear about the manager of Land's End United? He had to resign after his team lost away to John O'Groats. He said in a statement he took the team as far as they could go. Hey, very good, Sarah. Very good. Anyway, so we've got some other news to go through before I fuck out of here. Before I fuck the fuck off. Sorry about all the swearing. Sometimes it's necessary. So here's the fucking Daily fucking Mail. Just your boat planes working, Andy. Because there was a load of immigrants that came over on boats yesterday. Asylum seekers came over in boats. And they're doing little Chariots of Fire impression there, which is lovely. And running along the beach. And there was more than 700 migrants are thought to have attempted to cross the channel on one of the busiest days so far this year. Well, yeah, it is the busiest day because there haven't been that many people coming over this year. So, yeah. By and large, it's working. By and large, it's working. There you go. The 10 questions my husband won't answer. Okay, here's a challenge. Here's a challenge for you in the chat, right? Oh, God, go away, thin face. Thin face, you're not supposed to appear. Stop doing that. Here you go. Here's your thing for the day, right? I want to know what these 10 questions are. Right, so just give me a question that you think this woman's husband won't answer. Okay, just the funniest will win a prize, I'm sure. Or at least my endless adoration. The 10 questions. What are these questions that her husband won't answer? Go nuts in the chat. Tell me. My day with Jared Leto, a famous sex offender, possibly, allegedly. Wildfire alert as drought set to eclipse 1976. God, don't say 1976 again. Say it, motherfucker. Most of England is on high alert for wildfires as a 50-year drought record from the long hot summer of 1976 is on the brink of being beaten. And July's not finished yet. July is not big in this. Big in this. I was just reading John's message there. Does my bum look big in this? Right, here's what I don't get, right? Who wants a skinny ass? I don't understand this, right? Why? No woman in the right mind would say to her husband or partner or whatever, do my boobs look big in this? I don't know if I can wear this. Does this make me boobs look big? You'd be like, yeah, and they'd be like, okay, cool. But when it's bums, it's like, does my bum look big in this? It's like, yeah, good. That's a good thing. Why is anyone got a problem with that? Why is that turned into a thing of like, oh, that would be bum looking big? Why? You're not an 11-year-old boy. Why would you not want your bum to look big? The bums are great. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Anyway, baby got back. Okay, but Graham, works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. Woo! Says Captain Coconut with a little ghost. What's a ghost's favourite fruit? A banana. That doesn't really work. Thanks, Andy. I just worry about the poor woman Chase is locked in his cellar. Who's feeding them? Well, yeah, exactly. Bin Feffy. It seems to have taken a long time to get the prosecution of the crime against Rushdie. The wheels of justice take a long time to fucking turn. They really do. 10 questions. When is your child's birthday? Does my bum look big in this? Does my bum look big in this? Like 3 different people. Oh, my favourite line in these door knockers is everything in the book true. Yeah. Is she prettier than me? Is she prettier than me? Where's the washing machine? There's the washing machine. Very good. If I'm into hentai or not. I'm just Captain Coconut. Answer me. Are you into hentai? What sort of research can you do for the trans community or P-Hub? Okay. Whose bra is this? Ooh, yeah, he went on to that. Every paper front page in the drought, with the exception of the Fail and the Express, says it all. Well, yeah, they know which way their bread is buttered, and it's buttered by oil. It's not butter, it's oil. It is oil on their bread, and they eat it. They eat disgusting, gloopy, crude oil smeared across bread. Disgusting fucking moldy bread, and like I love it. I love that oily, disgusting, moldy bread. Give me more. Anyway, what am I thinking? Says one angry pagan. Where's the real you gone? Says Andy. Oh, that's quite sad. That's not funny. Do me a funny one. Questions to my ex are too mental to put on here. Says Pretty Cake Machine. Big bums on ladies and tight ones on men. Oversharing their lol. Says Shop to Chris. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yes. I have Jehovah's Witness Hall, 5 down doors for me. They don't door knock the street. Why is your username Bukaki Boy? What happened to our child's pushka? Where are the kids? That's a good one from Pullinator. Where are the kids? Where are they? How much you spent on Lego? I had to Google hentai. Oh dear. Oh no, you didn't, did you? Oh, that's going to be in your internet search history forever. I'm so sorry. Hey, listen, it wasn't me who put it in the chat, okay? I tell you what, if there's an expression that you don't know, and we're giggling like school children over it, maybe ask us in the chat if it's safe to Google. Or incognito mode all the way. Although Google does keep a record of what you look at in incognito mode. If you really want to be incognito, I think you've got to use like DuckDuckGo or one of the other search engines. What did you just say? To which the answer is invariably nothing. Nothing. Buttered by oil, a good definition of margarine. Don't Google bukkake. No, don't Google. Don't Google that. Don't Google bukkake. Oh no, you discovered a new thing to look at. What's wrong with my sister's washing machine that you had to fix it 4 times this month? Why is there a drawer of fingers in the fridge? Look at hell, Andy. Sorry, if you're just joining us, there's a front cover of the Times, and the questions being asked, the 10 questions my husband won't answer. So we've had people in the chat rattling off what the questions are that they won't answer. I think the winner's going to be, why is there a fucking... why is the... Where's it gone? I've lost it. Oh, I've lost it. What did you just say? There. Why is there a drawer of fingers in the fridge? That's brilliant. There's a short film right there. Why have you got a collection of children's shoes? We don't have any kids. Cheeky one, Chris. Or 2 girls, 1 cup. Won't do it. Just keep your curiosity in check on that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you should never Google. Like rusty trombone. You should never Google that. You should never Google 2 girls, 1 cup. You should never, ever Google felching. If you ever want to know what felching is, you don't. You don't need to know. It's fine. It's fine. If you don't know, you don't need to know. News update. Genric is now doing a Q&A. Al Widdicombe shows Nigel is under great threat. I am being hated by his supporters for his lies. Ed, sick bucket filling fast here. Yeah. Oh, sorry, but you didn't ask for chocolate fingers. I was preparing them for bake. Chocolate fingers or fish fingers? It's up to you. Anyway, back to the Times. Sorry. Come on, let's be sensible now. Catch my breath. Get tax rebate from your mayor. Local leaders may hand back revenue to residents under PM's radical devolution plans. Some of England's metro mayors are planning to offer tax rebates to residents under devolution powers that are set to be announced by Andy Burnham. The Prime Minister expected to hand regional mayors a share of income tax revenues to spend locally as part of a shake-up of the English tax system to be laid out tomorrow. A Burnham ally said there were meaningful plans to devolve aspects of business rates to reward regions that grew their economies faster. Yeah, get some incentive in there. There's no incentives at the moment. That's a big problem. We're all about the stick, this country. We're all about the stick. We need to be a bit more about the carrot. People, if things are going well, your first thing shouldn't be like, let's tax it to oblivion. It should be, let's take the tax off the landed wealthy who don't really do anything. Jamila Jamil, the most annoying woman on the internet, screams the Daily Telegraph at the top of the page here. Why? What did Jamila do? What did Jamila do? I'll tell you what Jamila did. She was doing a podcast in which she said about the British Empire and all the crimes that the British Empire committed, which they did commit, and that we should know about. And then suddenly she was jumped upon by the right-wing press and the right-wingers in the chat, and the right-wingers leaving comments saying, "Oh, we don't like it, fucking leave, you don't like it, fucking leave the country, leave the country." You see, because she's of Indian Muslim heritage. Oh, you don't fucking leave. Why don't you leave? You got to leave now. I don't think she's the most annoying woman on the internet, but by a long chalk. Not well. People like J.K. Rowling and Liz Truss still exist. We've got the marriages torn apart by weight loss jabs. Okay. And then we've got calls grow for England to boycott the World Cup. Pressure on football chiefs to act after Burnham attacks Infantino's £15 billion pound sell-off, which is ridiculous. He wants to sell off the World Cup to the highest bidder. Zendaya there, and another premiere. This is her 4th premiere of the year, I think. She was in... the Confession or whatever it was called, the movie at the beginning of the year. She was also in Superman, Spider-Man. She wasn't in Superman. She was in Spider-Man. She's in The Odyssey. She's in June this year. She's going to be in the Clickfinger guy. What's it called? No, not that guy. The other guy, Doomsday. He's going to be in the new Avengers movie. She's in 6 movies this year. 6 movies, which is incredible. And she's looking great. She's looking great. Married to Tom Holland. If you're ever feeling miserable, if you're ever feeling blue, here's a little ditty that'll help to get you through. What I want you to do, right? If you're ever feeling a bit down, right? Look up Tom Holland, right? Tom Holland, so Zendaya's husband. Tom Holland plays Spider-Man. Look up Tom Holland lip sync battle, okay? If you're ever feeling down, if you're ever feeling a bit in the dumps, just look up Tom Holland lip sync battle. It was a show about 7-8 years ago or something, and he was on it, and he did a lip syncing to "Singing in the Rain" by Gene Kelly. Who sung fucking "Singing in the Rain"? I can't even remember now. Anyway, "Singing in the Rain." He does that. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just look up Tom Holland lip sync battle. Look it up. Okay, a little bit of joy there. Jamila Jamil's character in The Good Place was very dislikable, but that's probably because she mirrored all those people now hating on her. Well, yeah, I thought she was great. I thought she was great in that. I thought she was very, very funny. Jamila is great. They're just jealous racists. Yes. And tis true. Sunkrat gave £20 million to grease the MP's re-election, but he got binned, and RefUK don't want poor people to have swimming pools. I can't wait for Avengers Doomsday. I'm buzzing after the recent trailer. I'm very excited about it. I think I'm a bit more excited about Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man and the Odyssey. Now going to see the Odyssey in IMAX with subtitles. It's the first time in, since IMAX became a thing in the 90s. This is the first time that my partner's ever been to see. Well, will be when we go and see it. Will be the first time that Catherine's ever been to see an IMAX movie. And I don't want to hear about how you didn't like it and how it's shit and IMAX overrated. And just don't be a Grinch about this, okay? Don't take this from us. It is genuinely exciting for someone who's a cinephile like myself. Not being able to go and see a lot of movies that I'd like to go at the cinema. I'd like to go and see at the cinema. I'd like to give me money to films so more films get made. I like films, and yet, yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the Odyssey in IMAX. Looking forward to seeing Spider-Man later today. I think I'm going today. See Spider-Man. Looking forward to that, definitely. Tom Holland's father, Dominic, is nearly as funny as Russell Brand, and that's some doing. Oh, God. Russell Brand. Russell Brand's not very funny. What? I want to see the Ghost movie. I can imagine the accents in Odyssey. Tony Curtis in The Village. I'm going to see Trainspotting the musical in Edinburgh Fringe. That's boss. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2, but my favourite is Thor, so ... Brit with USA accents. Yes, there are a lot. I mean, of the three people who have played Spider-Man this century, two of them have been British. So there you go. Okay, so Zendaya there is in the new Spider-Man movie, and there she is in a web of diamonds at the brand new day premiere. She's looking fabulous there, as always. Trump vows to give Iran a beating for surprise attack. NHS cancels blood tests after net zero curbs on air conditioning. And then we've got Burnham tax rise hints to fund social care. Of course, that's what the front cover is going to be. It's not like, yay, finally, social care is going to be looked at by the government. No, it's like tax rises. They're going to take your tax. They're going to take all your tax away from you. You know those little porcelain figurines that you like? You like those little porcelain figurines, don't you? Yes, we're going to take them from you. We're going to smash them in front of you until you cry. That's what the government's going to do. Telegraph newspaper hates Britain. You need to understand that. Yeah? The Dentrassi hate Vogons, right? Yeah. The fucking newspapers in this country hate this country. Reform hates this country. Nigel Farage hates this country. As soon as Nigel Farage has done whatever he needs to do, he's going to fuck the fuck out of here and go and live in Dubai. Under Sharia law, eating halal food and waking up every morning at 5 a.m. with the call to prayer. Because that's the world he wants to live in. Not paying any tax. Harry faces £18 million bill after male court battle. We've got extreme weather puts food supplies at risk. And then we've got the beach hut hysteria is finally over. Okay, whatever. Got the I newspaper here. Burnham signals tax rises to pay for social care. See how they're all framing it? So it's going to the taxes, going to go up. We're going to get. Listen, right? The situation is, at the moment, you either pay nothing towards your care at the end of your life or everything, and there's nothing in between. That is it. Depending on on how you start to die, right? You either pay nothing or everything. What is being proposed is that when you cark it, you pay 10% of your estate goes to the government to pay for your care in later life. Not just your care, but everyone's care. So instead of some people paying nothing and some people paying everything, we're talking losing your house, £500,000 worth of assets being liquidated to pay for your care, right? Instead of that, everyone pays 10%. Much fairer. Much fairer. And is it really a tax rise? No. Because if you look at care as it stands. The people who are losing everything are having 100% death tax. 100%. No, that is wrong. That is absolutely fucking out of order. So actually, if Burnham changes the system so that we all pay 10%, for a lot of us in this country, it'll actually be a massive tax cut from 100% to 10%, which is manageable. Because you know what? I'll be fucking dead. Don't care. I went to see Eyes Wide Shut, the musical. It turned out to be a dodgy bar with a band playing. It did have a lot of audience participation, which was nice. Hey, listen, I watched the whole Burnham interview yesterday, his speech that he gave without notes in Manchester. It was in Manchester, wasn't it? Was it in Manchester? I think so. Anyway, wherever it was, he gave the speech, and it was without notes, and then he took questions afterwards. And one of the questions was about assisted dying, and he made a very, very, very good point. He said, "I don't want to talk about assisted dying until we get the care service sorted out, because I don't want people saying that opting to die rather than be looked after in a care home that's going to cost their family all this money," which is true. He's absolutely right about that. We do need to sort out the care before we can bring in assisted dying, because there is going to be people who are going to be like, "Oh shit, I'm getting dementia. Oh, that means that we're going to lose the family home, and we're going to have no inheritance for the kids to inherit. They're going to be out on the streets because they can't afford a house of their own. Okay, then I'll just kill myself." Bye. Yeah, we don't want that happening. We don't want that happening. And I thought it was a very good response for someone who is very much, pro assisted dying, as an option. I don't think it should be forced on anyone. I think it should be an option. I was taken by that reply. It's very rare I actually hear a reply to a question by a politician, and it makes me think, oh, yeah, that's a good point. I can't even remember the last time I was listening to a politician and I thought, oh, that's a good point. Actually, no, I can't remember when the last time was. It was Jeremy Hunt. It was Jeremy Hunt who talked about making everyone fucking vote. And I've always said, well, what's the point they do in Australia and the right wing still get in? However, he made the point that at the moment, because only old people vote, we live in a geriocracy, and it's the old people get geriocracy. It's the old people who get to decide the future of the country, when it shouldn't. It should be young people. So make them fucking vote. And then political parties will have to, do little bits of acrobatics to get young people on board as well as older people. I mean, I wouldn't mean 100% death tax. I'm not going to use it at that point. No, but it seems unfair, doesn't it? Because of my innate sense of justice that I've only got because I'm ADHD. I mean, if I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't have an innate sense of justice. I don't know how humans fucking survived for millions of fucking years. Tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, building communities in which no one had a sense of justice. It's like, you have any given community, 1 in 10 of them will be ADHD, and they'll be like, oh, we should really do something about this person going around murdering everyone in the fucking village. Oh no, actually, I don't. I think they should just be given prizes. What? What? Innate sense of justice. Do you have a strong innate sense of justice? You must be ADHD. But yeah, I do think that it is quite rare. It is quite. Let me change what I've said there. Rewind. Strike that from the record. I wish to correct the record of answered. No, it's very rare that a politician actually answers a question and you go, oh yeah, that's a good point. When did it last happen to you? Let me know in the chat. New challenge for you in the chat, because this is overwhelmingly an interactive show. Did a politician ever say something in an interview and you gone, oh yeah, I never thought of it like that? Geriocracy. Yeah, check everyone called Jerry. Everyone called Jerry. Politicians usually deflect to their talking point. Burnham seems to be actually able to pivot. Pivot. Tom, 1979. Peak Who says, Paulie Donkey talking about Tom Baker, I suppose. Scouse Doctor Who. One or two Scouse Doctor Who's. I think the next Doctor Who should be Scouse. I think it should be me. Tax gentleman is very much like dairy farming. The task is to extract the max amount of milk with the min amount of moo. We've had that one angry pagan. And maybe they all had ADHD back then. But it's that joke, isn't it, about Moses going to the top of Mount Sinai and getting the Ten Commandments and going, oh, what? Hey, guys, listen, we shouldn't kill each other. Fucking hell, how did we function as a society not knowing that we shouldn't kill each other every moment? I get up and kill them, fucking 7 of my neighbours every day. It says here we shouldn't kill each other. Fucking hell. That's just crazy. All right, mate. Angela Rayner talking about education in 2016 sticks with me as a point I agreed with as a politician. I agreed with a politician. Not as a politician, because you're not a politician. I don't think. Maybe some politicians are watching this. If you are, hello. Please make our lives better. That's all we ask. We don't ask for much. Just make our lives better. Go on. Take a shorter shower to save water in drought, public urged. God, again, even more alliteration. I mean, new plea to save every drop as fourth heat wave hits. Drought declared in half of England as exceptionally serious dry spell continues. Households using water faster than nature can replenish it, warns Environment Agency. Should be really fucking handy. Should be really fucking handy, right? My hands, they're pretty handy, but not handsy, because that's something else. It would be really handy if these companies, if these companies, these reservoir companies, let's call them, who are in charge of reservoirs, these water companies in charge of reservoirs, their job is reservoirs, their job is making sure everyone's got enough water. It would be good if any of these reservoir companies since 1991, whenever they got privatized and made into these privatized companies that make money for shareholders rather than, making our lives easier, maybe any of these reservoir companies actually built any fucking reservoirs, like one. You probably need hundreds of them, but just one would be nice. Just one. I'm not asking for thousands of these reservoirs to be built. Just one. Could you build one? No, fuck off. Need our profits. Need our profits for the dividends for the shareholders. So we're going to borrow money and give it to the shareholders. You're going to borrow money. You're going to invest. You're going to put that into investments. You're going to build reservoirs. Nah, we're going to sort out those leaks. Nah, fuck that shit. You're going to treat the sewage properly, so you don't have to pump it into every single fucking water course in the country. Nah, fuck that shit. Yeah. Anyway, it would have been handy to have a few more reservoirs that could have collected all the monumental amounts of water that we had at the beginning of the year. Remember, it rained for 2 months solid. Do you remember that? Yeah, all that water's gone now because we don't have any fucking reservoirs that were built in the last 40 years by these companies that were supposed to build them. I decided not to. Genuinely feel more positive about life since Andy Burnham got in. Yeah, so do I. I do. I mean, it's not perfect. There's still things to do, obviously. But water was privatized in 1989. So it's 1989, not a single reservoir been built by the companies that are literally specifically reservoir companies. No one else is going to build reservoirs. Like, it's not like McDonald's are going to go, do you know what this country needs? A fucking reservoir. It's not like Ford or Chrysler or fucking Volkswagen are going to say, hey, listen, before we build this plant building cars, we're going to build a reservoir. Yeah, it's not so all these companies in the UK, it's not like the DMA Design or Rockstar North go, do you know what? Before we make this GTA 6 game, we're going to build a reservoir. That no other companies have the job of building a fucking reservoir except for fucking reservoir companies, and they didn't build a single fucking reservoir. And for that, I think they should all go to hell. But before they go to hell, how about, here's an idea, why don't they go to jail? Go to literal fucking jail for the rest of their lives. Just as a warning. Like people along the way and, crucified on crosses as you're getting into the city. Just a warning. This is what happens. This is what happens if you don't build any fucking reservoirs. Thanks for that, Thatcher. Although, thanks for now, Thatcher. Yeah, Maggie Thatcher. What an arse. But Graham, those reservoirs cost money and our shareholders want all that. They cost money. Yeah, they do. The privatisation, one of the biggest scams in British history. One of them. There are many. The ripping up the train lines. That was a massive scam. The building of motorways. That was a massive fucking scam. Building motorways through Greenbelt land. Massive fucking scam. And don't forget, motorways are the most damaging things that we can possibly fucking create. At least with the railway line, I mean, animals can get onto the railway line, but, they're generally graded so that, above or below, in a tunnel or whatever, animals can get across them. Animals try and cross a fucking motorway and they fucking die. And so you've got animals that need to find new habitats, need to go somewhere, and it all goes a bit fucking animals of farthing wood, doesn't it? There you go. That's some trauma from your childhood that you thought you forgot. Do you remember Miss Hedgehog? Anyway, take a shorter shower. Take a shorter shower. Are you a lurker or a busybody? We want to know. The 8 people you find in every street WhatsApp group. Are you a lurker or a busybody? The World Cup is hanging by a thread. FIFA chief threatens 75% cut to members' earnings if they reject their plans. Fucking hell. Seriously, how messed up is that? How messed up is that? Can I just say about the World Cup trophy? I think it is ugly as fuck. You know, when you talk about design, I think it's a shit design. I hate it. I genuinely hate it. You know, when they used to do on fantasy football with David Baddiel and Frank Skinner, they did a thing where they dunk their hands in custard, and then they held it up like this, and they held a ball in the custard, and it was like yellow paint or something. Yeah. Met Andy Burnham, and he's a genuine bloke. Is he a genuine bloke? Did you check? Get J.K. Rowling and the gender police in. I'm just doing a check. Got to inspect the genitals of everybody. We're not perverts. We're not paedophiles. We're not absolute fucking weirdos. We just need to inspect everyone's genitals. That's all. Make sure everything's in the right place. Future looking droughtful. It's a joke. It's a pun. It's a pun about the fact we're all going to die. For Baking Britain. The bit more of an alliteration. They're going mad on the alliteration. 3rd in just 5 years. Drought has been officially declared across more than half the country, with millions warned that this is the new normal by a government minister. It is, and this is the future that the people who voted for Trump and voted for Farage and voted for Brexit, this is the future that they wanted. They wanted us all to fucking die. Buzz off. What's behind this summer's plague of flies? Probably the hot weather. England's glory, 60 years ago today and a world away. Yes. Well, it was 60 years ago today that England won the World Cup. The only thing that England has ever won in anyone's lifetime, I think. Most people who were around when World War II happened, they're not with us anymore. Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. As an ex-pupil of mine died trying to cross a motorway, thrown off bus and tried to trace way home. Bless him, learning difficulties. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Tis. That's really sad. It's really fucking sad. Trying to cross a motorway. Oh my God. I fucking hate motorways. I fucking hate the system. I just think they're fucking ridiculous. Someone sat down and went, "The cars must not stop. The cars must not stop." And you're like, why not? Why the fuck? The cars stop on motorways all the time because of fucking breakdowns and crashes and emergency vehicles and roadworks and all kinds of stuff. Cars stop on motorways. No, but the cars must not stop. Like, to fucking let them stop. Have a fucking roundabout now and again. I don't give a fuck. You know what? Why do we have to spend millions and millions of pounds on every fucking junction? And then they have these junctions, especially on the M6, it's really bad for this. They have these junctions where you can't turn right, or you can't turn left, or you can't you can't get off the junction in the way that you want to. And heaven forfend if you miss a junction, and you have to drive 17 miles along until you can finally get to a junction where you can turn around and go back. If there was a roundabout every so often, then you wouldn't have to worry about that. Put fucking roundabouts in them, I don't care. Fucking slow down, stop, go round the roundabout, come back on the, if anyone who needs to do a U-turn can do a U-turn quite easily around the fucking roundabout. But no, the cars must not stop. And this is the mentality everywhere in the world. It's not unique to Britain, but the freeway mentality, the American freeway mentality. It's disgusting, and everything about it is disgusting. It's polluting, it's using concrete, which is the worst thing to build anything out of, as I explained yesterday, because it's shit. You've got these... these cars polluting everything. People driving like twats. People falling asleep because it's so fucking boring. Like, one of the things I really fucking hate, you never stop, right? Once you're on the motorway, like if I start driving from my mum's in Liverpool to here in Durham, right? The car does not stop unless I pull over into the services. The car does not stop moving for 2.5 hours. Just keeps fucking going. If I go along the motorway, if I go along the M62 and then up the A1M, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. Because you know what? Sometimes I want to stop. and I just want to adjust me wellies. I just want to fix the fucking radio and not be traveling at 70 miles an hour while fixing the fucking radio. I want to be doing other things, that stuff that I don't want the car to be moving while I'm doing it. But no, you can't. The cars must not stop. Must not stop. Must not stop. Must not stop. And then can you pull over and have a sleep in the car like you can in Australia? No, fuck that shit. You fall asleep in the car, you get a fucking ticket. Your cars must not stop. You must drive while it's very tired, and we will not stop you driving forever. I hate the mentality of it. I hate the philosophy of motorways. I think they're disgusting. I think it's horrible. Just put a fucking roundabout in. I don't care. You're going to have to stop anyway because there's going to be a fucking crash if you keep going this speed. Oh, look, there was. I've been on a motorway where once I was coming back from London. I've just got a bellyache about this. I'm going on the M6, right? And I think, should I take the toll? Because at the time it was a £5 to take the toll. And it would have got us back like half an hour earlier. And I was like, there's fewer traffic on the toll. It's a £5, and we've just been to London, and London's expensive. We've had to pay for the fuel and all that kind of shit. So I decided in my infinite wisdom to just stay on the M6, right? Don't take the M6 toll. Of course, there's a crash. I'm really near where the crash is, right? All the cars stop. The police close the motorway. It's a fatality. Fatality. And we sat there for 4 hours. 4 hours on the fucking M6, right? This is outside Birmingham. 4 hours on the M6, sitting there, nothing to do, right? And then finally, and you technically speaking, you're not supposed to get out your car. People did and go for a piss in the ditch, right? But like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay in your car on the motorway at all times, It's actually against the law to get out of the car to piss in a bottle, I guess, or bucket. Anyway, so eventually the police say, right, the motorway is closed. You've all got to get off the motorway. And they make all the cars do U-turns and then travel back. And so they start at the back of the pack. And for them to get to us, I was only a few cars from where the crash happened. For them to get to us took so long. And then eventually, the police directed us off the M6. I don't know why I'm doing that. Do they do that? No, that's a plane runaway, isn't it? They direct us off. And we're driving along the hard drive. We're going the wrong way down the M6 on the hard shoulder. Crazy days, right? So we come off at the junction, going the wrong way up the junction, but there's police cars there, and the officers are directing everyone, telling everywhere to go. And what do they direct us onto? The M6 toll. And do they say, hey, listen, we're going to open the booms so you can just go through and join the motorway? Do they fuck? Everyone on the M6 had to fucking pay a £5 to get on the M6 toll, which I should have gone anyway. And I'm not saying that was the genesis of my absolute fucking seething hatred of motorways, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. If you give me the choice between a motorway and an A road, I'll take the fucking A road every time. Every fucking time. And that's why when I come back from Liverpool to Durham, I hardly ever take the M62 because fuck that shit. It is the road to hell. Hull. I can't be dealing with it. I can't be dealing with going around Manchester, that little bit of the M60 around Manchester. Fuck that shit. I can't be arsed. I can't be dealing with it. I go up the M6 to junction 38, and then I take a right and go up to the A66. And it's lovely. I don't want to have to travel through Kirkby Stephen and Barnard Castle, but that's the way the road goes. But I don't mind. Sometimes I have to stop and have a look at the lovely buildings that are there. You see any lovely buildings along the motorway? Do you? Fuck. What do you see on a motorway? Other cars. Other cars. Hate it. I hate the car worship. Stop worshipping cars, humans. They're not the be all and end all. They're just fucking cars. That's all they are. They're a metal box that lets you get from A to B in a metal box. And I know some people are really, really excited about cars. Americans in particular, they literally fuck their cars. They made a movie about it called Crash, I think, where they fucked cars. But the reality is, like, cars are just the fucking worst. And it really depresses the living shit out of me that a lot of the shops from Durham city centre have now moved to the Arneson Centre, which is to the north of the city centre. And basically, the kids go there, the young people go there to hang out. And it is a car park filled with cars, and then the outside of it are these boxes, these metal boxes, concrete metal boxes with like clothes in them and food and shit. And it's so depressing. I just look at it and go, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. There's a level of inhumanity about this. You know, what's wrong with having a nice town square, you know, with cafes and bars and restaurants and somewhere you can hang out, a third space where you can hang out that isn't overlooking a fucking car park. And there's a Greg's there, you know, and there's a Costa Coffee, and they've got chairs outside so you can sit outside on the road and watch cars come into the big car park, and you can look at the cars. So as you're having your coffee, instead of looking like at a river, there's a lovely river that runs through Durham. Instead of looking at a river, instead of looking at some trees and some birds flapping about now, cars, just loads of little fucking metal boxes driven by dickheads. Hate them. Anyway, so so M6 toll is now really expensive. M60 is a circular car park at times. It's shit. There's a website called Pathetic Motorways, and it does make this very good point that every single motorway in Britain is unfinished. It's unfinished, and that's why you can't, you know, they have these sprawling junctions that take up like vast amounts, like the size of a town, and this is greenbelt land, but it's okay. You can build a massive fucking motorway junction that only serves as a function for cars to swirl around the little swirly bits. You can build that. You can get planning permission to build that. But to actually build a village in the green belt, no, can't do that. Can't build homes, can't put a pub there. Yeah, because it's the green belt. Got to protect the green belt. Why don't you protect them against all these fucking motorways? Oh, no, you're going to have motorways. The cars cannot stop. The cars cannot stop. All we need to do is get rid of all the humans from this area, and then the cars, they never have to stop. Yay. Fucking crazy. Scotch Corner Junction on the A1M is horrendous for accidents. Should have spectator stand like NASCAR. Yeah. Like they turned the A1 into a fucking motorway and called it the A1M, and now it's like, you know, the cars do not stop, but they do. They fucking do. Fun fact: Toronto, my old home, actually has the wildest highway with 18 lanes, 3 miles of Highway 401. Toronto. Former name York, not New York. New York used to be New Amsterdam. True story. But yes, it does. If you're going down, if you are in Toronto, there's the old bit is quite nice, some nice old architecture and stuff. And then you want to walk down to the water, and to get to the water, you got to walk under like 18 lanes of fucking traffic. Up on a flyover that's literally crumbling apart. You can see the rebar in it, and it's disgusting. And you got to walk under that. You got to navigate essentially a fucking motorway service, and the humans have to wait. They have jaywalking laws in this fucking country. So in Canada, you've got to wait for the cars, to all pass through, because the cars cannot stop. And then suddenly, after maybe 10, 15 minutes of fucking waiting at the side of the road, finally, in the freezing cold, because it does get very cold in Toronto, especially in the middle of December. But, you're standing there shivering, oh, God, so cold. And there's people in these air-conditioned cars, like the heater on full blast. Oh, it's like being in the sauna in this car. Oh, God, good job I didn't have to stop at this traffic light for 5 seconds. Otherwise, I would have lost my fucking mind. Yeah. Anyway, nice views, though. Indeed. Cottrell transferred 2 million to mother days before her RefUK donations. I told you so. Burnham puts Trident at heart at UK renewal. Andy Burnham will place the renewal of Trident at the heart of his vision for re-industrialised Britain today when he travels to Barrow in unfairness more like, to announce the next phase of the nuclear submarine replacement programme. And then we've got drought declared in half of England, which is fucking insane that this is happening, and we're kind of allowing it to happen, which probably isn't great. Shorter showers, future looking droughtful. We've got Burnham Carer boost. PM cheers up Fiona Phillips' husband, Martin Frizzell, the star who has Alzheimer's. She said that the PM's social care speech cheered up our morning. So that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, you've got some good news. A little bit of it anyway. Parched heath, drought hits half of England. There's Blackheath in London there. That same picture on a few of the newspapers, looking absolutely fucking parched. The grass there dying in the relentless heat and the lack of water, lack of rain. Fed holds rates despite fears of price pressures from renewed Iran conflict. We've got the FT100 hits record highs. Investors seek out place to hide from tech rout. Yeah, we're talking about it. The AI bubble is coming to burst because it's not that good. Burnham signals tax rises to fund better social care. Again, all these newspapers, they're concentrating on the tax rise, the tax rise, the tax rise. No, the headline is that social care is finally being looked at and addressed the problems with it, because some people have to pay 100% tax when they get dementia. 100% tax. 100% tax. All of their money, all of their assets gone. Gone. Until they've got £23,500 left, and then finally they get stuff for free from the government. Local authority. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. It's fucking cold in winter. When people ask, why do you live in Britain, Mr. Canada, I say there's no 4 months of ice as poorly donkey. Yeah. Although the path under Toronto is quite fun. The underground layer. It always reminds me of the text game Zork. Whenever I'm in it used to be called York. So there you go. So I'm going to call Toronto Zork from now on. The underground kingdom. You go to, for those who haven't been to Toronto, there is like an underground kingdom in Toronto where all of the basements from all the different buildings are all connected up underground. So if it's really fucking cold above ground in the middle of December or whatever, you can travel around. It's quite fun. So many morons on the Sky News live feed on Suffolk, literally on fire. Yeah, I mean, let's let the morons have their say. So yeah, there's a horrible story on the front cover of the Mirror, which is Where Are Babies? Grieving mums plea as harrowing pics released. 4 heartbroken mums whose babies' ashes were lost in this undertaker in Hull, who just fucking, Jesus Christ, it's not bad enough these people have to live in Hull. And then this fucking mad bastard funeral director does this to their babies' remains. I mean, there's just some weird fucked up people out there, isn't there? The Daily Express, and this is going to be the script for the whole of the Burnham prime ministerial shit, whether it lasts a few weeks or a few years or a few decades, however long it lasts. Dying tell PM, we don't have time for these delays. Campaigners devastated after Burnham says law on assisted deaths must wait. Dame Esther Ranson is among campaigners begging Prime Minister Andy Burnham not to abandon them, as effectively ruled out legalised assisted dying. Now, he didn't rule it out. He said we need to sort out the care system so that people aren't choosing assisted dying before, they're not choosing to die, so they don't end up costing their family the family home. Because that'll happen. That'll absolutely fucking happen. But yeah, so nearly every single newspaper there that covered what Andy Burnham said yesterday about improving care for everybody in this country has written a negative news story, saying it's either going to bring up, it's going to delay the Assisted Dying Act. They've said it's going to it's going to push up taxes. There's only the Star that's actually said, oh yeah, here's some good news for everyone. The way this is framed, and this is never going to end, is it? It's never going to end. This is going to be the script for the whole of the time that Andy Burnham is Prime Minister. Nothing he ever does is going to be cheap enough or good enough to the papers, because they make all their money by making people angry. Hey, it's only 6 lanes there. That's the Queen Elizabeth Parkway, by the way. Jesus Christ, no wonder the Queen fucking died having that piece of shit named after her. God, she must have seen that and gone, oh my God, I can't even live anymore. Why did they name this after me? Or maybe it was named after Queen Elizabeth I. I don't know. But Parkway. I love it when they give names to like roads and stuff that make it sound like it's a nice thing, like a park. Nah, it's not a nice thing. It's a fucking horrible flyover, a concrete piece of shit flyover that's noisy and dirty and filthy, and there's nothing going on underneath it, because what can you really realistically do under a flyover except put a skate park under there, maybe, and then you have to keep opening it and closing it because people take drugs in the skate park and people graffiti the skate park, so you close it and then the kids have got nowhere else to go, so then you open it again and you close it again, and oh fuck, I hate it. To knock it down. You're trying to get to the water and you've got to walk across a fucking motorway. Same in Liverpool when you got to walk across Wapping in Liverpool to get to the Albert Dock. from Chevalis Park. You got to walk across a fucking motorway. Are you fucking kidding me? 6 lanes, 6-lane motorway to get across. I know it's not a motorway. I know it has got traffic lights, but it just fucks me off. To get rid of those cars. Get rid of those cars. I would shut that road off from cars. And if you want to get, around from one side of Liverpool city centre to the other, yeah, don't go along the river. Go round the city centre. That's it. Take a trip round it. Take fucking Queen's Drive, for Christ's sake. Take the ring road, you bastards. You can take drugs under flyovers too. Yep, true. Back in uni, my girlfriend was in Montreal, so I'll go every week. And in the winter, going to the train station on the way to McGill Student Ghetto was practically all underground, thank goodness. Going underground. The Jam sung a song about that. Montreal has an underground mall that is serious. Toronto is a bit paltry. Infocom forever. So Montreal's path is even bigger than the Montreal. Well, yeah, I mean, Toronto's not really a mall, is it? I mean, it goes through a shopping mall, which is really weird. You'd be walking through a bit of like the underground from a train station, and suddenly you're in the haberdashery section of a department store. It's a strange place. But yeah, I didn't know that Montreal has a proper underground mall. And there you go. Anglo ghetto of McGill. What? Better Call Saul? Hey, what? Yeah, but Montreal and Toronto, I mean, quite fun cities, but yeah, very cold. Very cold. But, if cars stop, then the people in the car are mildly inconvenienced for a moment. The people out in the fucking thrashing rain, pedestrians walking about, that they can be inconvenienced, or they can be made to walk an extra 20 miles to cross a fucking road on the fucking road bridge that stinks of piss. Which you're fucked of getting over if you're in a wheelchair, if you've got any kind of mobility problems. Yeah, good luck with that. Don't walk anywhere. Get a car. Everyone get a car. Drink the oil. Put the oil on your bread. Smear the oil on your bread. Put it in your face. Oil. Anyway, so that was all the newspapers. Unfortunately, what a bag of shite that was. Although no, we've got one more. Sorry. Missed one. Scorched Earth, Britain. This is from the Independent. Flash drought declared in half of England. July set to be driest ever recorded. Wilsey, Surrey sees 43 days with no rain. Cairngorm's wildfire burns for 2 weeks. Yeah. And the Independent view. PM has grasped the nettle of social care, but the sting remains in paying for it. Every single one, except for the Star newspaper. The Star news, of all the papers, the most sensible one is the Star, saying, good, we need to do something about care. Stop freaking people out about tax. I mean, you have to pay more tax. You have to pay a lot more tax if you get dementia, mate. You're going to have to pay 100% tax if you get dementia. Yeah. So let's not do that. Let's not have that as a system, okay? The only thing we disagree is how warm or cold we want the house. I like having the house really cold and sitting here in a parka. Anyway, right, that's me for the morning. Thank you so much for the 2 bouts of confetti that we had this morning. That is fantastic. Now I have some exciting and exhilarating news for all of you. We have at 1 o'clock today, we'll be doing a special edition of The Agenda with me and Phil Morehouse. Okay, that's at 1 p.m. today. Me and Phil doing an episode of The Agenda. So if anyone wants to join us for that, we normally do it on Fridays. However, I'm away tomorrow at the Kendall Calling Festival for the day. So I might do a little live thing from the festival for you if you want. Let me know. And 1 p.m. we're doing that, and then possibly even more exciting than that, at 6 o'clock today, me and Pranay Manocha, who has been on the Friday Night Social a few times. He's been on the Sunday Night Social at least once. He'll be joining me at 6 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about the cockroach party. Because in India there has been a cockroach party, and it's really fascinating. So if you want to know more about that, we'll be talking about the politics of India, Modi, the cockroach party. We'll be talking about the caste system. We'll be talking about Hindu relations with other religions. There's a lot to get through. 6 o'clock tonight here on the Hughes of the World channel. So please join us for that. So 1 o'clock, me and Phil doing the agenda today, and then 6 o'clock we've got I don't know what we're going to call it actually. haven't thought of a name. I wanted to call it Mother India, but Pranay's like, nah, you can't call it that. That's a famous film in India. You can't call it that. I'm like, oh, can I call it Motherfucker India? He's like, no, fuck off. But yes, I'll think of a name. I'll think of a name. Toronto has the worst light rail system of streetcars. Priority is given to cars, and the trams are never on time. Yeah, David, I've been on the Toronto tram. I once took the Toronto tram across Toronto. It took a very fucking long time. Priorities to cars. What the fuck? Seriously, man. Fuck the cars. Ever since the 1970s, when Douglas Adams, one of the first people to pick up on this, where looking from afar, Ford Prefect thought that the dominant species on the planet must be cars because everything's built around the physique of a car. Everything is built around the needs of a car, not the needs of humans. And so he called himself Ford Prefect so he could fit in, and he tried to shake hands with the car. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, my friends, my dearest, hopefully I'll see you at 1, if not 6 o'clock, and if not 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for another morning brew. I hope you can join us for that. I hope you had fun this morning. I hope you had a laugh. I hope you had some tears and some joy and some. This is basically That's Life, isn't it? That's Life, but on the internet. So we get through the whole gamut of human emotions. But I'm going to fuck off now and have some breakfast. And you have a wonderful, wonderful day, whether you come back to this channel or not at 1 o'clock or at 6 o'clock. But if you do, it'll be great to have you on board. So until then, I'll just say thank you so much for watching. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.